Aleshi, thank you so much. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney Pate to walk us through this. So help us understand, give us some clarity on the legal spectrum of this. What is the responsibility of President-elect Trump when he's dealing with both of these entities?
We've never had a situation where the president walks into office more concerned about what's illegal or legal versus what's ethical or not. There are not really any clear laws that prohibit Trump from being engaged in business while he's president. There's a federal law, but it does not cover the president or the vice president. There's a constitutional provision, but it's really fuzzy as to whether or not it prevents somebody like a President Trump from being engaged in private business. Now, it's clear he can't do anything to receive any benefits or get business from a foreign country, but it really doesn't address private business interests. So there's no clear law that prohibits him from doing what he's doing.
Is there any way to ensure that he doesn't personally profit from any of the decisions he makes?
I think the only way to do that is to have Congress address this proactively. Go in, pass a law, make it clear that the conflict of interest laws that currently govern almost everybody else in the executive branch also covers a President Trump, because right now that law is not on the books.
Okay, Elizabeth Warren had something to say about this during a hearing with Ben Carson this week. Let's listen.
The problem is that you can't assure us that HUD money, not of $10 varieties, but of multi-million-dollar varieties, will not end up in the president-elect's pockets. And the reason you can't assure us of that is because the president-elect is hiding his family's business interests from you, from me, from the rest of America.
Is there validity to the allegation she's making, and how easy would it be to hide assets?
There's a lot of validity to what she's saying, and I think President Trump could avoid all this by taking his assets, liquidating them, putting them into a blind trust. That is what every president in modern history has done. But from Trump's standpoint, and I guess elections have consequences, he's coming into office with the idea that if it's legal, I'm going to do it. And so that's the problem.
Walter Schwab, director of the Office of Government Ethics, gave a speech at Brookings Institute this week, and here's what he said, talking about imploring, apparently, the president-elect to look at sacrifice. Let's listen.
As we all know, one of the great things about America is its system for preventing public corruption. The president-elect must show those in government and those coming into government after his inauguration that ethics matters.
Is that law that, that exempts presidents from the conflicts statute, is it outdated? Does it work? Does it change with each president?
It shouldn't. I mean, there should be one clear law, and it governs every person that takes that office. We did not need a law before Trump to tell a president that you can't have a business conflict of interest while you're in office. Every other president in modern times has made it clear that I'm going to separate my personal business from my responsibilities to the country, and they've acted ethically. And so what the Office of Government Ethics is doing is trying to implore Trump, before he becomes president, to take those steps, because otherwise there's nothing to govern his private conduct and whether or not there's going to be a conflict with the people's business.
And if he doesn't do that, if he does not put it in a blind trust, how confident are you that this is going to be a potentially huge distraction?
All during his presidency, unless Congress goes ahead and proactively changes that law to make sure that it covers a president and a vice president. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about this as long as he's in office.
All righty. Pate, always appreciate your expertise.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much. Victor?
Michelle.